This is a tutorial on how to use the Zoom logs for attendance. So what I have here on the screen is my Zoom account online and the option on the left that says reports. I'm going to click there. I'm going to go to the usage reports, select the day that I want, happens to be today. So over here under participants, I can download, it's a link, I can open this up. So we'll just pick that one. Now, this is great and wonderful, but not very useful online here because there's no way of sorting it and looking at it and that type of a thing. So I'm going to export it. And when I export it, it exports as a CSV or comma separated value format. So don't worry too much about that, but essentially know that you can open it up in any spreadsheet program like Excel or Numbers if you're on a Mac. So my system is set up with Excel, so I'm going to open that up. Take a moment to open it. Now it displays data. If you get these pound signs, it's just that you need to expand the size of that to look at it. But what I'm really interested in is attendance, but it has the name of the students, the user email, and the time they joined, the time they left. Notice here a student was here for 4 minutes, but you can't really believe that. In fact, it's typically wrong. And why am I saying that and yet showing you how to use this as a log? Because you have to go through a few steps to do this. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to sort by the name. So I've clicked on the name over here. I'm going to go to the data tab and I'm going to select this sort to A to Z, and it takes all of the student data and sorts it A to Z. And notice that here for one student, for some reason, Zoom is logging connection and disconnection. And I stumbled across this because I noticed in one of the reports that I was there for 1 minute when obviously I was there for the whole time. And so I sorted it, noticed that it had 3 times for me, kind of a first third of the course, 1 minute in the last 2/3 of the course. So if you sort it by name, and then what you can do while you're still on this data tab is you can go over here to this outline option. Now, if you're using a Mac, you're just going to have to figure out where these are at. I don't have a Mac, but I know that you can do the same thing in Numbers on Mac. So, or Excel on Mac, but the menu options are different. I'm going to go over here to the outline and I'm going to select Subtotal, which will give me a subtotal by name. So I want to subtotal based on the name. I want it to be a sum. I want the total to be the duration of times. And I can accept just all the defaults. Excel is kind in that way. So I can say, okay, notice here that it brings up kind of a level 1, 2, and 3. I want to collapse this so all I see is the total, summary total per student. And then I'm going to select on the duration and I'm going to sort it A to Z. And that will tell me the student who had the least amount of time in the meeting up to the people who had the most amount of time. Oh, look, I had the most amount of time in the meeting. And so doing it this way, you can quickly look at this and see if anyone's bailing. Now, obviously, it doesn't tell you if they're paying attention or not, but it does tell you if they logged into Zoom for your meeting and how long they were there. The other thing that you can do is then just retain this, save it for whatever, right? I might name it 9-1 section 1, I believe this was, and then make sure you save it as an Excel file, not a CSV file, because you'll lose all of this. So I could do a file, save as, and I could just save it. I'll save it right here, but the key is you have to change this from CSV to Excel workbook. You can also do that if you want this same location, which is my downloads folder. You can also do that right here. Save it as an XLSX, which is Excel format. If you're using Numbers, do the same thing. Save it as a Numbers format. The key is save it as something other than a comma separated value because you'll lose your calculations. But I can save it at that, and then I can add more if I want to the same one, and at least have that information. Now these logs are retained on Zoom for 30 days, so you're going to have to download them periodically and do this data manipulation on them to keep track of your attendance through the Zoom logs.